From the John C. Hench Production Arts Studios in Peoria, Illinois, VideoMax Limited presents Midstate Magazine with your hosts, Kayla Neitz and Kyle Peck. The news with Aaron Morden and Danielle Heimski, featuring your Midstate reporting team. Sports with Katrina Baumgartner. Get Real with Nikki Garabrandt. Stephanie Robbins is on the beat. State of the Arts with Brooke James. Rebecca Williams is in the spotlight. Anna Tassi takes us about town. And About Crew with Noel Mefford. And now, from America's friendliest city, Midstate Magazine. Take it away, kids.
Good evening and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm your host, Kyle Peck.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Thank you for joining us.
All right, well, today, recently I found out that there was an annual Santa Dash that happened, a 5K race in Liverpool, Northern England.
Okay, so it already happened.
It already happened. About 8,000 people competed.
Okay, have you ever participated in anything like that?
No, not 5K, a 3K though.
Okay, yeah, I've never done anything like that either, but it is my understanding that you do get cookies and milk at the checkpoints at
Yes.
like festive runs like that instead of just water. So
yeah.
That might persuade me to do it, although, you know, going to the store and just buying the milk and cookies seems a little bit easier to me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind long distance, it's just I've never run that long of a...
The 5K, which is 3 miles or 3.2 miles or something like that, correct? Something around there?
Something around that.
Okay, well, we'll get back to that. It's time to check in with the news team.
Good evening, and welcome to Midstate Magazine. I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Dale Heimski. Let's take a look at the news.
A highly traveled road has opened in Morton just in time for the end of construction season. While it's a relief for some, others are still sad to see an old structure go. Jefferson Street opened to drivers Monday. A new overpass bridge replaced tunnels, which closed last year due to design problems. Crews said this project is just part of the bigger picture. The entire Morton construction project will cost $86 million. Construction on I-74 will resume by next April. It's expected to be finished in the summer of 2016. Speed limits will stay the same throughout the winter, even while crews are not working.
Americans who died in the attack on Pearl Harbor 73 years ago were honored December 7th. The first doctor to arrive at the hospital that day, General Robert Hardaway III, saluted the crew of the USS Chung-Hoon. It was all part of a ceremony at the Pearl Harbor Visitor Center overlooking the USS Arizona Memorial. Japan's 1941 attack on the United States killed nearly 2,400 sailors, Marines, and soldiers.
For the first time, the Midwest Open Indoor Archery Tournament will be held in Bloomington. This is the 8th year for the tournament, but it will be the first time it will be held in Bloomington. It was previously held in Bartonville. The tournament will take place at the Interstate Center on December 12th through the 14th. Archers do not have to be part of a member of any archery association to participate. About 400 people are expected to participate, and it is expected to have a $35,000 impact on the Bloomington normal economy. The tournament is hosted by the McLean County Archery Club, and 75% of the entry fee for the championship division will go towards their money purse. There will also be a non-championship division.
President Obama is looking to keep the positive news on the jobs front going. It was revealed on Friday's jobs report that American businesses added 314,000 new jobs in November. That makes November the 10th month in a row that the private sector has added at least 200,000 new jobs. The president says there are ways to keep the momentum going, and over the last 6 years, businesses have created nearly 11 million new jobs.
One person is dead after a two-vehicle crash on the Sandy Creek Bridge east of Henry. Trevor Lester, 25, of Henry, was fatally injured in the accident. The driver of the other vehicle, 46-year-old Jeffrey Knott of East Peoria, was transported to OSF St. Francis with non-life-threatening injuries. Knott was traveling westbound when he was struck by Lester, who was traveling eastbound on Route 18. According to the Marshall County Sheriff's Office, the incident is still under investigation.
Apple is doing its part to deter would-be thieves from making off with your iPhone. A study by the Federal Communications Commission found that security features like Find My iPhone and Activation Lock reduced phone theft by 40%. To avoid becoming a victim, the FCC suggests employing your phone's security measures and writing down your phone's unique identification number, printed in the battery compartment. Now let's go to Katrina for sports.
Thanks, Danielle. Bradley basketball junior guard Warren Jones received a small consolation prize after learning his season would be interrupted by an injury Monday. Bradley's leading scorer at 14.6 points per game, Jones was named the Missouri Conference Newcomer of the Week Monday afternoon, hours after learning he would miss the next 4 to 6 weeks with a stress fracture in his right foot. Jones averaged 20 points in the first 2 starts of his Bradley career last week. After becoming off the bench in Bradley's first 6 games, he responded to his first start Tuesday against Central Michigan with 33 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a blocked shot, and a steal in the 84-73 win. He added 7 points and a team-best 3 assists Saturday at Memphis, but experienced pain in his left foot during the game against the Tigers. The Chicago Cubs landed an important free agent piece late Tuesday night when John Lester agreed to a 6-year, $155 million deal, according to multiple sources. The deal contains an option for 2021 that, if it becomes guaranteed, would make the deal worth $170 million over 7 seasons. The Boston Red Sox were reported to have been the runner-up. The San Francisco Giants backed out of the bidding earlier Tuesday. Landing Lester, a 3-time All-Star and 2-time World Series champion, is a huge boost for the Cubs. The Cubs are loaded with prospects and have one of the game's top managers after hiring Joe Maddon. Wrigley Field is getting its long-awaited makeover, and there's a sense that big things are happening on Chicago's north side. The top-to-bottom overhaul of the organization is starting to pay dividends, and that a string of 5 straight losing seasons could be ending soon. New York Knicks point guard Ramon Felton turned himself into the police early Tuesday morning, hours after the Knicks game Monday night. Felton was arrested and is now facing 3 counts of criminal possession of a firearm. The 29-year-old was charged with 2nd and 3rd degree possession of a gun, which are felonies, and 4th degree possession, a misdemeanor. Felton is not accused of using the firearm in a threatening way. The charges are for being in possession of a gun that wasn't registered to him. The 9-year veteran of the NBA signed a 3-year, $10 million contract with the Knicks in 2012. That's all for sports. Back to you, Danielle.
Thanks, Katrina. Another mysterious giant Lego man has washed up on a beach earlier this week. This time in Japan. The 8-foot-tall Lego had the cryptic message, "No real than you are," painted on its chest. Similar figures have appeared in recent years on shores in Sarasota, Florida, Brighton in the UK, and Zandervoort in the Netherlands. Nobody's certain who makes the giant Legos or how they end up all over the world, but rumors have linked them to Dutch artist Ego Leonard. I mean, I guess if your last name's Leonard, it kind of sounds like Lego. Like, that kind of makes sense.
That'd just be creepy to walk up onto the beach and see.
Right? At night in the light of the moon.
But I'm sure it'd be fun.
Well, that wraps up news for the week. I'm Katrina Baumgartner.
I'm Aaron Morden.
And I'm Danielle Chayimski. Have a great night, and be sure to join us next year.
Thank you, news team. Well, we cracked the code. It is 3.6 for a 5K. Maybe we'll have to try that someday. But Katrina mentioned in the sports, you know, along with the sports and everything like that, that Wrigley Field will be getting a makeover, which of course
that would
is
be pretty
really
interesting.
long awaited. So that'll be cool to see how that all turns out and how it looks after it's all done.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something about the infamous Grumpy Cat.
Yeah, apparently it's been recently confirmed that the Grumpy Cat, whose real name is actually Tartar Sauce. I didn't know that at first.
What is it?
Tartar Sauce.
Tartar Sauce.
Tartar Sauce, yes.
Okay.
But the Grumpy Cat earning $100 million is completely inaccurate, according to the owner of the cat, Tabitha Bundesen. She and its manager, Ben Lashes, who calls himself the meme manager, refused to comment.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so there was a rumor going around that he was going to get a large sum of money for, you know, his face becoming so famous, but it did not happen.
Nope, did not happen.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. Let's check out an episode of About Town now.
Have you got your Halloween costume yet? If not, with Costume Trunk's high quality and unique costumes, you'll be the talk of the town. The Costume Trunk has provided customers the best experience in Peoria for over 30 years. Owner Mr. Spain explains that his favorite time of the year is finally here.
Halloween is always busy. It's a little busier this year because Halloween falls right on a Friday. There's a little more extra excitement, more parties, more contests, more enthusiasm.
This store offers a variety of specialty costumes for teens to adults that you won't find at a regular retail store.
We offer a different product, I think a superior product, but they certainly have a market, you know. We don't do any children's costumes at all, and they do a lot of that. We don't do any props or anything like that. We're here all year long and for theater grade type costume. So for the customer that wants something a little bit better, then we're the place, I think.
Not only does Spain sell costumes, but he finds customers coming to buy theatrical makeup, hats, wigs, and various accessories to go with their outfit as well.
We have rental grade costumes, that's the high-end costumes. We also have a line of party grade costumes, and those that are retail, and we sell those. They're retail costumes, but they're a little better quality than what you would see at some of the other stores.
The Costume Trunk is located on the corner of Main Street and Sheridan. For more information, go to costumetrunk.com. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Anna Tassi.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, I've actually been to the Costume Trunk once before. I was actually getting a wig for a character that I was going to be playing as.
Okay.
I was imitating Prince.
Okay, very cool. So you went in there and you found what you needed?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I heard an interesting story, kind of not so much in About Town, but kind of far away. In New York City, there's a restaurant where you can purchase for $35,000 a 9-course meal. And basically, people actually did this over Thanksgiving. They went there, they gave the $35,000, and I think it serves 9 different people, but they each get 9 courses. And there was things like 24-karat flecks of gold in the food, $16,000 caviar. Yeah, it was insane.
For $35,000?
Yeah, and I guess...
Why would you ever do that?
I don't know. It seems like a
You could buy a
massive
car
waste.
for that.
You absolutely could. And if there's flecks of gold in the food, I think I'd be picking it out, not eating it.
Yeah. Well, let's go to Nikki and see an episode of Get Real.
Hello again, and welcome back to Get Real. I'm Nikki Gerbrandt. The latest animated feature film from Walt Disney Pictures has been winning over audiences and critics alike. This week, we take a look at Big Hero 6.
Ow!
Meet Hero and Baymax, a boy and his inflatable white robot. It has been said that we shape our tools and then our tools shape us. That's the story of Big Hero 6. Even though Baymax can only do what he's programmed to do, Hero learns a lot from him about how to be human.
Diagnosis? Puberty. Whoa, what?
Hero and Baymax are joined by a group of inventors that transform themselves into superheroes in an effort to find the person responsible for the death of the colleagues they love.
Ta-da! It's pretty great, huh?
The film is a comedy that will keep you laughing and an action film that will keep you on the edge of your seat.
It's also a really heartfelt, emotional drama where it surprises you how much you care about these animated creatures.
The diverse cast broadens the appeal of the film even more.
You don't see that a lot. You don't see really strong Asian male characters that often, unless they're martial artists or sidekicks. But it's to see a character like Tadashi and like a Hero, it's rare and it's nice.
It's a film with a positive message that never sounds preachy and that can be enjoyed by the whole family. If you haven't seen it yet, be sure to stay until the credits are finished rolling for a long bonus scene, which features a cameo by a famous comic book writer. Well, that's all for this edition of Get Real. I'm Nikki Gerbrandt, and I'll see you in the movies.
Thanks, Nikki. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. I actually think I like animated movies better than the real movies.
Yeah, sometimes they are the better ones.
Because they have all those hidden like adult jokes in there that end up being really funny most of the time.
Right, and I watched it. You should. It's really awesome.
Is it? Okay, good. Well, good recommendation. Thank you.
Yeah.
But another thing in entertainment right now is Taylor Swift. You mentioned that something happened with her and Carly Claus.
Taylor Swift was recently caught. Actually, it was reported that she was dating Carly Claus, the Victoria's Secret model.
You're kidding me.
But she dumped that theory entirely. She basically
Taylor Swift dumped the theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she dumped the theory. There was a Twitter photo that caught them kissing in a VIP section of a concert, and
it was confirmed. This is a real photo.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't really care.
You don't.
I don't really care. It's not part of my life. It's not part of my personal life. I'll appreciate her work, but it's not worth it.
I'm very interested in this. We're gonna have to get back to this.
All right.
It's time to check out an episode of Street Team.
Hey, it's Griffin from Street Team, and since it's almost Thanksgiving, we decided to ask some people some Turkey Day trivia. All right, first question. Which president first declared Thanksgiving a national holiday?
Was it Richard Nixon?
No, earlier, like way before Richard Nixon.
George Washington? Andrew Jackson? Thomas Jefferson? Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
Yes!
What part of the turkey is saved and snapped as a superstitious good luck custom?
The neck.
Wishbone.
Yep.
That's the wishbone. Yeah, wishbone, yeah.
Approximately how many turkeys are eaten on Thanksgiving in the U.S.?
Just one? No, like isn't the whole U.S.
35,000.
Like 50 million?
Maybe like 3 million?
Couple million, maybe?
Way higher.
Way higher than
Way higher.
200,000.
Way higher.
2 million.
Way higher.
500 million.
Way less.
38 million.
46 million. Close enough. A female turkey is called a hen. But what is a male turkey called?
It's,
I think
it's a, I don't,
I'll give you a hint. Blank and Jerry.
Ben?
Think cartoon.
Tom.
It's called a tom.
It's called Tom?
Yeah. Which company has been putting on an annual Thanksgiving Day parade since 1924?
Oh, this Macy's.
Yep.
Macy's. Yeah, yeah.
I got nothing.
Not even a guess.
No.
Just nothing.
Just nothing.
Macy's.
Yep, good old Macy's. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Griffin Sassano.
Thanks, Griffin.
Well, we were talking a little bit about Taylor Swift. I am still extremely surprised about this whole situation.
Really?
I have not heard anything about this Karlie Kloss, not rumor, I guess it is. But, maybe it makes sense. She's dated a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Maybe she's been barking up the wrong tree, if you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, if she's staying single, that's fine. If she's dating a girl, that's fine.
And you don't care either way?
I don't care either way.
Fine by me. Okay.
Yeah.
But you told me a really funny story a second ago.
Yeah, I have a really funny story. Apparently, some rocket group in Michigan decided to create a 10-foot, 450-pound porta potty equipped with rocket motors and 2 parachutes. And they tested it at a farmer's field.
And it worked.
Turns out it worked.
And why did they do this?
I have no idea. They just felt like doing it. They wanted to try
some.
They wanted to try some more scientific evidence on other things that they can fly around.
And so they did.
And so they did.
All right. Well, let's see what episode was chosen for State of the Arts.
Hello, and welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Brooke Janes. Today we're pleased to welcome Tracy Furling, a Bradley student who is studying music. She has performed in several ensembles on Bradley's campus and specializes in vocal performance. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And you have someone else here that we should just mention. Who's that?
I do. This is Kinza Hagerup. She's a collaborative piano, music business, and composition major here at Bradley, and she's also my roommate.
Oh, wonderful. Are you guys both seniors?
We are, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And when did you start looking into music or studying music?
I started when I was in high school. Around my junior year, I started taking private lessons and singing opera and doing more classical music, which is my favorite thing, I think, to do. It's more technically difficult, so
sure.
It's more fun.
Yeah. Are you going to be performing an opera piece today?
Mm-hmm. I'll be performing O Leggiadri Occhi Belli, which is known as an aria antica, an antique aria from an opera that's so old nobody even performs it anymore.
Okay.
But it's often performed as an Italian art song now. And it's got kind of an interesting background if you'd like to hear a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Well, obviously the text is all in Italian, but like any good Italian aria, it's all about unrequited love.
Okay.
So the singer is talking to his or her lover and saying, I love you so much that I'm in this constant state of anguish and torment, and I can't understand why you don't love me back. And the interesting thing about the song is that you'll hear in Kinza's piano part, she's playing these constant quarter notes, almost like a heartbeat.
Okay.
And there's this serene kind of calm atmosphere.
And we'll be hearing that heartache and everything in the piece?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Would you mind giving us a little taste of what you do with Kinza there? Thank you both so much for being with us. That's all we have for this week. Join us next week for more talent from around the Peoria area. For State of the Arts, I'm Brooke Janes.
Thanks, Brooke.
Well, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was very lovely.
I remember seeing that the first time around, and it was just as enchanting and wonderful the first time, so I was loving that they brought that back. But I heard an interesting story about someone on Southwest Airlines. Are you familiar with that airline?
Yeah, I've done it plenty of times.
Sure. Okay, well, the woman had her baby on the plane while it was in flight.
What?
Yes, which it sounds like the most stressful thing to me because, then the baby's exposed to all sorts of germs.
Yeah, and then everyone else is exposed to her and giving birth to the child.
Oh, yes. I would just be like, eyes forward, put my horse blinders on, try not to look and make her feel uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
But you were saying about another kind of sad story, but it turns out good.
Yeah, another toddler, his name is Adam. He was 2 in Poland. He was unconscious outside in 19-degree weather, and he was taken to the hospital.
Oh, my goodness. Let's get right back to that.
Yeah,
we're about to run out of time.
right back to that.
Let's see what episode is on About Crew.
Today on About Crew, we get a look at the technical side of Midstate Magazine as we go behind the scenes with our technical director. With the position of technical director, CJ can control everything you see with the press of a button.
The main part of my job is to operate the switcher, which is the TriCaster. And it's new this year, so it was a lot of fun to learn to use. And then I also take care of other technical issues that come up. I'm in charge of fixing them or finding somebody to fix them.
What CJ finds to be the most enjoyable part of being a technical director is the liveliness that comes with working the switcher.
It's always exciting because there's so much going on. So when we pre-produce all of the different segments for Midstate, that's the part that's most fun for me because I get to do a lot of different things.
Although being the technical director may be a stationary position, it is also the most versatile.
We get to do a lot of stuff with green screen, and so that's kind of fun to get that set up. We do a lot of packs and a lot of CG, and so I get to do a lot of different things other than just punching one button.
With About Crew, I'm Noelle Mefford.
Thank you, Noelle. All right, so why don't we finish up that story with the boy in Poland?
Okay, so it turns out that the boy miraculously recovered.
Okay, but
he's alive.
Let's recap. He was in the snow. He passed out. Is that correct? You said he was sleepwalking.
Yeah, he was sleepwalking in 19-degree weather. I don't know how long he was unconscious, but he's alive and well.
And he's 2 years old.
He's 2 years old. The theory is that he was hibernating, where some animals kind of like sleep for long periods of time and they don't actually like, their heart rate goes down. It turns out that scientists have said that it's possible that humans could possibly, in rare circumstances, hibernate too.
You're kidding. So
no, I'm not.
That is very scary. Okay, so his parents must have found him in the snow, not knowing where he was.
Right.
And then they brought him back to the hospital, and you said he recovered very quickly, actually. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, well, I've got another story coming about a 96-year-old man.
Let's check out with an episode of In the Spotlight.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Williams, and this is In the Spotlight. If you have turned on your TV lately or just gone on the internet, you know Gossip Girl star Blake Lively is pregnant with Ryan Reynolds' baby. While the good-looking couple has yet to reveal the sex of the child, a source says they are already discussing where and how they want to raise their little love. Blake's pregnancy was announced earlier this month on her lifestyle website. She married Reynolds back in 2012 after they starred together in The Green Lantern. The internet seems to be fascinated by this pair's little one. We wish the couple the best of luck with their soon-to-be newborn. What do meth, Toys R Us, and Barbie have in common? Breaking Bad star Aaron Paul, that's what. This past Tuesday, Toys R Us announced they would pull the Breaking Bad dolls from their shelves after a Florida mom protested, saying the action figures were inappropriate for kids to be exposed to. Toys R Us responded by saying while these action figures are only sold in their adult 15 and older section, they will no longer be selling them. One of the stars of the show, Aaron Paul, wasn't very happy with this and tweeted to his 2.24 million followers complaining about it. An interesting story to follow for sure. Britney Day is coming up. How are you celebrating? Britney Spears officially has her own holiday thanks to the city of Las Vegas. Because of her successful Vegas show, Clark County Commission Chairman marked November 5th as Britney Day, along with giving Miss Spears the key to the Vegas Strip. In honor of Britney Day, whoever checks in at the High Roller Wheelhouse with an ID on November 5th will receive a pair of tickets to her Vegas show that night. For In the Spotlight, I am Rebecca Williams.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Well, I was about to tell you about a story about a 96-year-old man who is actually still playing softball.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe that?
Not really, no.
Yeah, because, I've got bad knees as it is, and I'm only 20 years old, so 96 years old and playing softball, I'd like to know what kind of vitamins he's using every day.
I would be interested too. I would love to live a long life and still be able to play sports.
Absolutely. Well, everything going on with Christmas lately and everything like that, do you have anything planned coming up?
Yeah, I'm actually going to London for 2 weeks.
Very cool. What are you going to be doing there?
I'm going to be getting to know a lot of what theater, how theater happens in London. We'll be able to go. I'll be going to the Globe Theater, Royal Shakespeare Company in Stratford.
Wow.
I might be going to Oxford. It's still undetermined, but
very cool. Yeah. I'm excited for you to do that. I'm sure you'll have a blast.
Thank you.
Let's see what episode was chosen for us for Let's Eat.
Hi, this is Tim Fluga from Midstate Magazine, and I'm here in front of Sweet Cece's in Campus Town near Bradley University. And you know what? I've done enough talking. So, you're hungry, I'm hungry, huh? Let's eat.
At Sweet Cece's, you can build your own frozen yogurt. When you walk in, you are greeted by colorful artwork in walls, which will lead you to the start of your frozen yogurt journey. I started with their Brownie Blast yogurt, which led me to their toppings. There are a plethora of toppings to choose from, like gumballs, Lucky Charms, M&Ms, Oreos, Captain Crunch, peanuts, and all the wonderful things we screamed at our parents to get. Wait, were those Reese's Puffs? Oh yeah, those were Reese's Puffs. I got the Reese's Puffs. After I got my favorite cereal, my journey continued to the dessert buffet, where the rest of my cravings were met with peanut butter, brownies, and cookie dough. To finish my journey, I weighed my yogurt and indulged, each flavor greater than the last. I enjoyed my wonderful creation, and because of the customization, there are endless possibilities that make every visit a unique experience. For Let's Eat, I'm Tim Fluga.
Thanks, Tim. Sweet Cece's looking really good right now.
It is. He really made it tempting for us with all of his toppings. He's a pretty masterful, yogurt maker.
Yes, very good innovator.
But speaking of food, you had Christmas cookies on our list.
Yes, apparently there's a new trend going on this winter where chefs are planning on putting spices into different kinds of cookies. So, black pepper, cayenne, coriander, and curry.
Really?
Yeah. So they're infusing it into different types of cookies, and they're trying it out to see what happens.
That sounds really good. I like spicy, but I wonder how it'll taste with the sweet. I've actually had cayenne pepper in my brownies before. I went somewhere, and that was like their specialty item. It was a Mexican restaurant, and they had cayenne pepper in their brownies, and it ended up being really delicious.
Really?
Yeah, but it was kind of hit or miss. So like some people at the table really loved it, and some people were like, "This is weird. Why is there pepper in here?"
Yeah.
Well, let's check out an episode of On the Beat next.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Robbins with On the Beat. Taylor Swift can shake off the haters because she has now gone platinum. Swift released her latest album, 1989, just a couple weeks ago, and it sold almost 1.3 million copies just during the first week. No artist has shown such large numbers since 2002. 22% of all albums sold in the U.S. are from 1989 alone. Such massive first-week sales have turned Swift into 2014's first platinum artist. Swift transitioned from her previous albums of pop country music into her first full pop album, and her first single off the new album, Shake It Off, went straight to the top of the Billboard charts. It still remains in the top 10 along with her new song, Blank Space, and the album itself was released at #1. Swift also revealed dates for her 1989 World Tour, which begins May 20th in 2015. She first announced the details on the tour on Good Morning America. Australian singer-songwriter Vance Joy will be her opening act for the U.S. dates, and Shawn Mendes will join at all stadium shows. Swift has been seen on almost every talk show the past few weeks and is set up to give her world premiere performance on her song Blank Space on this year's American Music Award on November 23rd. For On the Beat, I'm Stephanie Robbins.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Well, that was good that she talked about Taylor Swift because we mentioned a lot about her earlier.
Yes, we did.
I know you don't care about it, but I am still so surprised about the Karlie Kloss thing. It's like really troubling me inside because I'm just dumbfounded. But
yeah, it is what it is.
That's okay. You were mentioning something else. Go ahead.
Yeah. In other worldly news, Copenhagen is installing a wide variety of devices that are going to help Copenhagen become the first natural carbon city in 2025.
So what are some of these devices going to look like?
Well, they're going to be looking like green flashlights on the bike paths, for
Really?
example. So it'll actually help people determine where the quickest and fastest way to get to their destinations, as well as being able to stop in places where they wouldn't naturally be.
And that's got to help for safety issues too. You know,
Yes.
with the actual bikers when they're on the road, they can see where not to go over the line.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
a good idea. Let's check out another episode of About Town.
Fall is here to stay, and for a man in central Illinois and his family, this season has a deep meaning.
I grew up on the farm with the apple orchard and that. And in April 1st, 1964, the best thing I saw was this apple orchard in the rearview mirror. And I went to Germany in the Army, and then they sent me to Vietnam, and so June 10th, 1969, I come home from Vietnam, and the best thing I see is the apple orchard in the windshield.
For Mr. Tanner, family always comes first.
You mean there's actually Tanners here? They thought this was a big conglomeration or a big corporation, but no, it's still a family business, and we hope to keep it that way for another few more generations.
Mr. Tanner oversees his wife, 2 of his 4 children, and over 20 acres of apple trees, while also raising pumpkins, squash, corn, and other types of produce, including fresh apples.
The Honeycrisp variety now has taken over the market. We'll sell probably 50% of the apples we sell fresh are the Honeycrisp. It's really taken market share from the Golden Delicious to Jonathan Red Delicious. But we've noticed this year that Red Delicious are coming back into popularity again.
Don't forget to stop by the market and bakery for some lunch, and also take some homemade desserts, pastries, or fall decorations with you to go.
A lot of apple cider donuts is one thing we're noted for. People drive a long way for the donuts.
In the farmer's market, you can also find newly picked apples, pumpkins, and the best sweet apple cider around town. There are free samples right at the front door, and I promise that you won't be disappointed.
It's a family affair. It's something for the whole family to enjoy. They can pick their own apples, pick their own pumpkins. We have something for the whole family, for dads, moms, kids, and it's just an enjoyable outing.
For the little ones and the kids at heart, there are many farm animals like goats and chickens that can be fed throughout the day, along with plenty of other areas like the corn maze and park, where you can take pictures, play, and make fun memories all day long. For more information about hours and location, visit www.tannersorchard.com. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Anna Tassi.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. Yes, I love Tanner's Apple Orchard.
Okay.
I know you said you didn't get a chance to go there.
I haven't.
Highly recommend it, even if you just want to go for the free samples, because there is a free sample for everything that they have.
Everything?
Pretty much.
Well, I'm a big trier for it.
Me too. Who doesn't love a free sample, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So they've got this huge keg on the wall, basically full of apple cider, and their
Right.
apple cider is the best I've ever had.
Mhm.
It's delicious. And then they've got their chips and their fudge and popcorn, and then of course they've got the whole ice cream bar,
Oh,
which
okay.
was really good. I didn't end up feeding the animals like they said because they were giving me weird looks, but
They were giving you weird looks.
yeah, the
What do you mean they were
goat, the goat had a mean look in his eye. I was just going to avoid him for the rest of the day.
Oh, it just gave you the beady eyes and just like got
Exactly, Kyle.
okay.
Exactly.
All right.
But before that, we were mentioning some new things in developments and trends. I just read about the Google glasses, so we're going to touch on that a little bit next, okay?
Yeah.
Let's
All right.
check out another episode of Get Real.
Hey, it's Nikki Garibrandt, and welcome to this edition of Get Real. This week, we're checking out the latest action movie from actor and producer Pierce Brosnan. 12 years since he last played James Bond, Brosnan trades in his MI6 badge for a CIA assignment. The November Man is a spy versus spy thriller that pits a retired CIA agent against his former protege. Pierce Brosnan plays Peter Devereaux, who is brought out of retirement to help an important Chechen refugee escape. He ends up matching wits with his former student, David Mason, played by Luke Bracey. But as with most modern spy movies, not all is as it seems, and the many twists and turns of the film will keep you guessing who's the real good guy right up to the very end. The screenplay provides good character development for Devereaux and Alice Fournier, a girl with a secret played by Olga Kurilenko, but not much for anybody else. The rest of the film is filled out with the usual two-dimensional bureaucrats, assassins, and love interests, and of course, lots of violence. Special effects are produced old school without the ubiquitous CGI used on most films nowadays. That gives the car chases and explosions a realism you rarely see anymore, which makes the action scenes even more engrossing and enjoyable to watch. The clever plot can be interested in trying to guess what would happen next, and that made it a fun summer movie in my book. The November Man opened on August 27th, but is still in theaters now, and has grossed nearly $18 million as of last week. And if you like the movie, read the book.
There's a whole series of novels by Bill Granger featuring Devereaux as the November Man. I'm Nikki Gerbrandt, and I'll see you next time on Get Real.
Thank you, Nikki.
Well, we were talking about the Google Glasses a little bit. Basically, these are pretty incredible. You can do just about anything on them. You put them on, and it looks like a virtual screen right in front of you, and you just kind of like touch your finger, and it'll move the screen for you.
Really?
Yeah, you can check your emails. You can get driving directions. I do wonder if you can watch movies on it, though, because Nikki
November
mentioned
Man looks really good.
it does look really good. I have not seen it yet, but
I haven't seen it yet either, but it's also a book series, which is really interesting.
oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's how it got.
Have you noticed that there are so many more movies coming from books lately?
Oh, yeah.
The Hunger Games, Divergent. I feel like that's been more and more popular.
But it's also more common in TV, comic books too, that are becoming TV shows like The Walking Dead or.
Was that a comic book first?
Yeah, it started as a comic book series.
I did not know that. Did
Yeah.
you ever read the comic books?
No, but I really want to.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay, so you're a fan of the show then?
I am.
Okay, cool. Well, it's time to check out another episode of Street Team. So let's see what they got for us.
Hey, it's Griffin with Street Team. As of next month, our great state of Illinois will be 196 years old. So we're asking people some questions to see what they know about the land of Lincoln. What year was Illinois founded?
I have no clue. 1817. 1809.
1820. Close, 1818. What is the state bird of Illinois?
The cardinal.
Cardinal.
The cardinal.
It's not a cardinal. Oh, it is?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's a baseball team in Missouri.
Cardinals.
Who is the only U.S. president to be born and raised in Illinois?
Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln.
Bush.
Abraham Lincoln.
John F. Kennedy.
Abraham Lincoln. Nope. Let me give you a hint.
Yeah.
He was an actor. President in the 80s.
Bill Clinton. Was it Bill Clinton?
Wait, no, hold on. Reagan?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
Yep. Although Springfield is the current capital of Illinois, how many cities has the capital been located in the past?
I'm gonna say 5.
I'm gonna guess 12.
One other.
2.
Yep.
2.
Yep. What is the oldest community in Illinois?
Chicago.
No idea.
You want a hint?
Sure.
You're standing on it.
Peoria.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes so much sense. Okay.
I'll go with Peoria.
Yep. You did pretty good for someone who's not from Illinois. For Midstate Magazine, I'm Griffin Sassano.
Thanks, Griffin.
That was really tricky trivia. I have to admit that even the second time around watching that, I didn't know them.
I didn't know them
I mean,
either.
I knew one or two, but they were
yeah.
the same one or two that I knew the first time, so it doesn't really count.
Right.
But you mentioned a story about a snake, which I am kind of nervous to hear about because I hate them, but go ahead and tell it.
PETA recently issued a statement, a kind of violent statement actually, that Discovery Channel recently put on a show called Eaten Alive.
Okay.
And basically it's about this guy named Paul Rosalie who decides to try to get eaten by the world's largest anaconda.
Why would he do that?
Well, the part of the reason is that he wanted, there were some deforestation matters that were happening in West Africa. It's mainly about West Africa, and he was trying to show them what was going on in their environment. And unfortunately, he failed at that attempt, and on the show, he kind of got
Let's get right back to that so we
Yeah.
can finish that story up. I want to check out another episode of State of the Arts now.
Hello, and welcome to State of the Arts. I'm your host, Brooke Janes. Today we're excited to welcome the Bradley Salsa Club. The Salsa Club has been at Bradley for almost 7 years, and it gives students the opportunity to learn salsa, merengue, bachata, and casino dancing. Here to represent the club is their president, Brianna Williams. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So how did you get started with the Salsa Club?
I had a couple of friends actually who were students at Bradley who were involved with the Salsa Club, and they encouraged me to come, and I came, and I loved it, and I've been here since.
And how long have you been in it?
This is my 4th year.
So you've been in it your whole time here at Bradley? Are you a senior?
Yes, last year.
Sure. And are most of the people in it also seniors, or do you accept everybody?
We take any age level, any grade level in school. We have undergraduate and grad. And there's a nice mix. It's a pretty diverse group. So.
Sure. And how do people get involved if they like what they see tonight? Are you guys still accepting members, or is it first call at the beginning of the school year? How does that work?
We are always accepting members. We meet in the Markin basement, room 30, every Thursday at 6:30 until 8 o'clock. So people are welcome to just drop in. No experience or partner is required, so really just bring yourself and be ready to have a good time.
So you would be willing to accept new members if they like what they see tonight?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect. And would you mind showing us what you do?
Sure. We will be showing casino tonight.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. Take it away.
Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. La tumba que ella te llama y el tambor que la reclama y un coro que dice así. Y un coro que dice así. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. La tumba que ya te llama y el tambor que la reclama y un coro que dice así. Y un coro que dice así. Le traigo mi guaguancó sabrosón. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Que con Pacheco no hay quien pueda. Es el rey del guaguancó negro. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Caballero, el conde le está inspirando esta linda inspiración negro. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Y aquí queda demostrado perfecta combinación con mi son. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Pero qué rico y qué lindo se baila el guaguancó en Nueva York. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Escuche bien que sabroso. La esencia soy yo, mamá. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Caballero, el conde le está inspirando. Baila mi guaguancó negro. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Escúchalo que es sabroso. La esencia la traigo yo pa' que goce. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó. Ay, mira cómo baila ese pollito con Pacheco y su tambongonco. Escuche usted la esencia del guaguancó.
Awesome. Thank you so much, you guys, for dancing for us tonight. That's all we have for this week. Join us next week to see more talent from around the Peoria area. For State of the Arts, I'm Brooke Janes.
Thank you, Brooke. The Salsa Dance Club is really great.
Yeah, they do an amazing job.
Oh, yeah. I actually know half of them.
Oh, very cool. So I know you've participated in that a little bit.
I have.
But Kyle, I gotta know, did the man, Paul, from Discovery Channel, did he get eaten alive by the snake?
No, he did not. He was actually taken off of the stunt on air while that was happening. So, yeah, he didn't do it.
What, they just pushed him out of the way?
No, somebody took him out of it.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
But to reiterate what I was saying, the reason that he wanted to do it was because there was a threat going on in the West Amazons, and he wanted to show what was happening there.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, I don't know if I could even if there was a threat, I don't know if I'd put myself in the position to possibly be eaten alive.
No, I would never put that position.
They really creep me out,
Yeah.
Kyle. They're like, I generally like wildlife.
Right.
Not snakes. That's where I draw the line.
That's where you draw the line?
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, let's check out another episode of About Crew now.
Everyone who works in front of the camera relies on this position to get their lines right. Today on About Crew, we're going behind the scenes with our teleprompter operator.
I chose teleprompter because I thought it was interesting to see how it worked, and I think it's important for the talent. Otherwise, they don't know what they're reading.
Laura's no stranger to the Midstate Magazine studio. As a senior, she has been a long-time volunteer.
I've been volunteering since my freshman year, but I've done different things every year. The other positions I did were on the floor, so I thought it'd be interesting to do something even more behind the scenes.
Although the concept of the teleprompter seems simple, the operator must keep a watchful eye.
Teleprompter, you just have to keep up with the pace of the talent, so that way they're reading exactly the way you're scrolling, so you have to slow down if they mess up, or speed up if they keep reading really fast.
With graduation approaching and her vast experience, Midstate has helped Laura narrow down her decisions for the future.
I know I want to do something with television production, so this has helped me a lot to see all the different aspects of it.
With About Crew, I'm Noelle Mefford.
Thank you, Noelle. I always really love the About Crew segment because it gives us a little bit of a taste of what actually is going on,
Yes.
how it all works. Have you ever worked behind the scenes before?
I have. I actually worked in the past as a teleprompter.
Okay.
It's an easy job.
Is it?
It's not too complicated. I mean, you do have to transfer your files from one place to another,
Sure.
but then you just press a number and then it goes fast. And if you want to slow it down, you just press a number and slow it down.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, very cool. The one thing that's always interested me about behind the scenes is stuntmen. You know how?
Okay.
Yeah, because they make it look so realistic. And I was looking at this little thing, and like Jennifer Lopez is a stunt person. And
Jennifer Lopez?
Oh yeah, she had a stunt person. I don't remember what movie it was for, but basically it wasn't even a woman. They had a man do it for her because she was really jumping all over the place, and it looked so flawless.
All right, let's get back onto that. Now let's check out another episode on In the Spotlight.
Yes, let's see what's going on.
I'm Rebecca Williams, and this is In the Spotlight. The CMAs were this past week, and all the country stars came out to celebrate. Guests included Brett Eldridge, Lucy Hale, Keith Urban, Luke Bryan, and Miranda Lambert. Of course, the hosts, Carrie Underwood and Brad Paisley, blew the show away, hosting for the 7th year in a row now. Miranda Lambert made history at the award show for becoming the most decorated female artist in the history of the Country Music Association Awards. The Something Bad singer has won 11 CMA trophies. Just this year, Lambert won her 5th consecutive award for Female Vocalist of the Year. What a great year for her. Miley Cyrus contributed a massive donation toward the fight against AIDS this past week at the AMFAR LA Inspiration Gala in Los Angeles. Cyrus donated $300,000 when she purchased a photograph at the charity event's auction. She then followed up that purchase with an additional $200,000 donation to the American Foundation for AIDS Research, resulting in a $500,000 donation. It's so important for me, of all people, to represent because I have a voice and I want to start an open dialogue about prevention, Miley said. You can't hate a girl for trying to make a difference, even if you are tired of all the twerking. Good news in the movie industry that came out this week. Matt Damon confirmed he will be coming back for his role Jason Bourne in 2016. This will be the 5th installment of the Bourne series. According to Damon, he is reuniting with director Paul Greengrass for the project, with the film hitting theaters the following years. Damon played the role of a CIA assassin in the first 3 installments of the series. The 4th movie, 2012's The Bourne Legacy, centered on CIA agent Aaron Cross, played by Jeremy Renner. We can't wait to see the new movie when it comes out. For In the Spotlight, I am Rebecca Williams.
Thank you, Rebecca. You were just recently talking about something about Carrie Underwood?
Yeah, Rebecca mentioned Carrie Underwood, and it reminded me of a couple things that are going on with her. One, she's pregnant, so very cool. Congratulations to her and her husband. But another thing is she just released a music video called Something in the Water.
Okay.
And it's a music video kind of centered about her religion and her Christ background, and it's about baptism a little bit. And people were giving her a lot of criticism about, keep your religious views to yourself, and we don't want to hear about what you believe and things like that. And she was like, turn off the radio then. If you don't want to hear what I believe and like that I'm a Christian, things like that, then turn off the radio, which I thought was kind of cool because, you know, so many celebrities change their views or change what they believe to kind of please the public eye.
Yeah.
But she was not having any part of that. But, you know, there's always pregnancy cravings, so let's see what we've got in another episode of Let's Eat.
Hello there, this is Tim Fluga from Midstate Magazine. This week, we're at One World Cafe on the corner of University and Main. And you know what? I've said enough. I'm hungry, you're hungry, so let's eat. I walk into One World Cafe and I am greeted by a beautiful array of decor that ranges from simple birds on the walls to spectacular murals. When I picked up the menu, there was tons of things to choose from, but this reporter saw breakfast, and I love breakfast. So I pounced and got the chicken and waffles. When I took my first bite, I was taken to a magical world that can only be described through facial expressions. And more facial expressions. And more facial expressions. Anyways, let's just say the breakfast was amazing. When you're leaving, you could pick up a dessert from their dessert cabinet, or even get a beer from their bar. So if you're looking for a great eating experience, come on out to One World. For Let's Eat, I'm Tim Fluga.
Thanks, Tim. One World is also a really good
Yes,
restaurant
I
to
love
go
One
to.
World, and I love that you can get breakfast. He had breakfast. I don't know what time he went, but I know that you can get breakfast there any time of the day, so they're delicious.
Yes, they
but
are.
Christmas, of course, comes up, always brings delicious food. What's your favorite Christmas item to eat?
It's got to be the gingerbread cookies.
The gingerbread cookies,
Yes. Gingerbread cookies and this really big gingerbread cake that my grandma makes. It's enough to feed 5 people, but it's got frosting and other types of goodies that are always really good in a cake.
Yeah, that does sound really good. My favorite thing is my mom always makes an almond cake, and it doesn't sound that extravagant or Christmassy, but I love it. It's delicious. And then of course there's always the fruit cake, which I've actually never eaten.
You've never eaten fruit cake?
No, and I'm kind of surprised.
I think it's all right.
I feel like everybody has a fruit cake at their party, but maybe I'll try it this year.
Well,
let's check out another episode of On the Beat.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Robbins with On the Beat. What do you get when you combine an old-time jazz singer and a 21st century pop star? You get the collaborative album of Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga. Bennett and Gaga had first met backstage in 2011 after she had performed at a gala in New York City, where Bennett asked her to sing a duet with him on his upcoming album. About a year later, Bennett and Gaga decided to team up and create their full album. Their album, Cheek to Cheek, was released last month and consists of 11 songs that follow the jazz standards of popular jazz composers. Bennett and Gaga's ultimate desire for releasing this album was to introduce jazz music to this generation. They believe that the tracks can be appealing to everyone who listens. The first 2 singles from the album, Anything Goes and I Can't Give You Anything But Love, both reached #1 on Billboard's Jazz Digital Songs chart upon release. The album itself is currently #1 on Billboard's Top Jazz Albums chart. It took Bennett and Gaga over a year to record the album in New York City, and Bennett's quartet was present among the recordings, along with many other jazz musicians that are featured on the album. The album deviates from Gaga's usual pop tracks because Bennett encouraged her to sing different songs. Gaga admitted that she was a little nervous about recording with Bennett, and she also said that her inspiration for singing came from the late jazz singer Amy Winehouse. Gaga and Bennett had spent time promoting Cheek to Cheek in New York City, but they have big plans for the end of the year. They're having a New Year's Eve concert at the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, where they will be performing new songs. It will be their first time the 2 singers have performed together in Las Vegas. For On the Beat, I'm Stephanie Robbins.
Thank you, Stephanie.
I've never been a huge fan of Lady Gaga. I don't know about you.
I think it's just an unusual duo, but it may have worked out really well.
She did say she got her inspiration from Amy Winehouse, who I really respect as an artist. She's obviously deceased now, but she was always really fabulous.
Yeah.
And a good singer and everything like that. But we were mentioning food earlier, and I wanted to tell you this cool thing that my uncle always brings to our Christmas party. It's a Hershey's chocolate bar, and it's about the size of this table. And so you know how Hershey's chocolate bars, they have the individual squares or rectangles as well, and then the giant one, like it all comes together, but you can break them apart.
Right.
Well, each individual rectangle that you break off is like this big. It's insane.
Dude, that's awesome.
I know. I don't know where he's getting it, but I'm pretty sure If you go to like one of those mega malls, they actually have a Hershey store dedicated to just Hershey chocolate, and that's
I might
where
be
you can
interested
get
in
that.
going to that. Yeah.
I might be interested in going to that too, especially over vacation and everything like that for this winter break, because you're going to London.
I'm going to London
which will be so
in January.
exciting. You must be so excited about that.
Yeah, I'm more excited about going back home and seeing my family.
Oh, I'm sure. When will you be doing that?
In like the next week or so.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
awesome. And I'm sure you'll be glad to get out of the cold weather.
Yeah.
Being in California. What's the weather been like there?
60s.
Oh, beautiful.
Yep.
I'm very jealous.
All right, well, that's all for Midstate Magazine. I'm your host, Kyle Peck.
And I'm Kayla Neitz. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next year.